Hello everybody. I'm going to, that's interesting because it says I've been on for 9 minutes and I've literally just come on. It says 9 minutes on my phone. That's really odd, isn't it? So I'm going to do some card readings today because I haven't done any for ages, and I just felt that compelled to do some really for some reason. And I'm going to do a little bit of talking around self-care because what is going on in the world right now is just so bizarre. And it's the energy of it is really quite overwhelming, and it's really quite overpowering, or it can be overwhelming and it can be overpowering. And this is where your self-care really comes into play, because it's been absolutely manic, hasn't it? We've come into 2020 with the whole Brexit argument, then we've had COVID and all the conspiracy theory around it, and now we've got the racism movement going on as well. And obviously it's creating a different type of energy to what we would used to be having. And the thing about it is that whilst it's creating this different type of energy, it's really heavy. It's really heavy, and this heaviness is taking its toll on people. It really is taking its toll on people. And in some respects, some of the energy is a bit redirected, because people are very angry right now. There's a lot of anger going on, and their energy is going into that emotion of anger. There's a lot of confusion going on, and the energy is going into that confusion, the emotion of confusion. There's so much hatred right now, and energy is going into hatred and sadness and suppression. And the problem with this is that that energy is really dark. It's really dark, it's really heavy, and it's really suppressing. And it's got this kind of oppression about it. It's got this oppression about it. And people are fighting with each other, and people who ordinarily used to get on with each other are having arguments about what's going on right now in the world. And that person is ringing my phone, so bear with me 1 second. I do apologise about that. I do apologise about that. So let me get back to what I was saying. So Sandra's saying, anger, yes, I agree, it's draining. Hence why I don't read or watch the news too much. Absolutely. Because the thing is, Sandra, and for anybody else that's watching right now, even when you do watch the news, you don't even know what's true anymore. You don't even know what they're telling you is true. You don't know if things have been edited to just show you what people want you to see. And the sadness and the anger and the hatred, it just sucks your life away. It sucks the light right out of you. And it replaces it with this muck, this just like, it's like grog. It's just awful. And it is so important to have self-care in these times. It is so important because employing self-care into your daily routine, and I mean into your daily routine now. I'm not talking about let's go to the spa once a month. I'm talking about daily routine self-care. So what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? I mean, don't get consumed with what is being bandied about on Facebook. I didn't really go much into Facebook at all this weekend. I opened my Facebook page this morning, and lo and behold, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I only scrolled down, maybe not even 10 posts, and every single one of them was hatred and anger and accusations and abuse, and it was just like, whoa, it's too much. So one thing, don't go on Facebook all the time. And that might sound really simple, but it is a bit addictive. Facebook is addictive. It is addictive because for some people that's their only social outlet, and for some people that's been their only social outlet when they've been isolated because they've been in lockdown. So they do go on it and they see all this stuff, and they see this comments and this anger and this sadness and people's confusion and conspiracy and people fighting with each other. And listen, there's got to be another way. There has to be another way. This cannot be the only way that the human race, we are one race, remember, the human race can actually resolve these issues. There's got to be another way. Because this way isn't working, is it? It's getting everybody fighting with each other. It's getting everybody feeling like total fucking shit. That they can't even speak. Because they're too scared to speak. In case they get accused of this or that or this or that. It's just a nonsense. It's a nonsense. There's got to be another way. There must be another way. So back to self-care. You know? Don't get involved in the arguments of it. Don't. There's no point in you trying to defend your corner. If you don't believe with someone who's really becoming quite animated with a view, because it will be their view and their opinion, you don't have to feed it. You don't have to feed the energy of it. You don't have to feed that energy. You don't have to jump on it to try and change their mind. You don't. You don't. Because some people are so fixated in a view that it doesn't matter what you say. They're never ever going to see a different side. They're not going to see a different side because they're blinkered. They're blinkered. And all of this stuff, we said about COVID, didn't we, bringing out some real different behaviours and widening the dark and light gap, because it did. There were some beautiful, beautiful acts of gesture came out with the COVID. Some really nice, kind things came out, and some darkness came with it. Real darkness that even shocked me, that I haven't seen before. You know, and this whole new thing is dividing us even more. We are becoming divided even more. And it's a little bit scary when you think about it. It's a little bit on the scary side in so much as, where do you sit with yourself? How do you see this? Where do you sit personally? You know, where do you sit personally? Because you can sit in the energy of the anger and the confusion and the hatred and the suppression, but is that really going to change anything? Or is it just going to fuel more of the anger, the confusion, the sadness and the hatred? Well, energy will go where energy is placed. And if you place your energy into all of those emotions and continue to do it, it starts to become ingrained in you. And that's how you will project yourself. You will project yourself like that continuously, regardless. Because energy will follow the energy. And your focus will end up being all about hatred and anger and why the world is not how it should be in your eyes. And then what you do is you start suppressing. You start suppressing all the beautiful things that we have in this world. Like the human race. Like the emotion of love. like the emotion of gratitude, like nature, the very beauty we have around us. And self-care definitely means do not get wrapped up in what everything the media is telling you. Don't get wrapped up in it. Don't get wrapped up in every single post on Facebook, because you don't know who's telling the truth. You know, people are posting stuff and they haven't even read an article. And you go in and read the article and it's 5 years old. And if it's not 5 years old, when you actually read the article, it's got no relation to the title of the actual article. So it's incongruent with the message. You need to do your own research. You need to research yourself to find the answers. Not rely on everybody else's opinion of what it is. Because the majority of what I'm seeing, people are just feeding and placing, misdirecting all their energy into that hatred, into that confusion, into that anger. And it's draining and it's heavy. And it's just raw. It's just that. So don't keep reading Facebook posts. Do yourself a favour, guys. Restrict yourself from how you go on Facebook. Start doing that as part of your daily routine of self-care. Restrict what you are reading. And if somebody is getting really animated and angry, don't even go there, because you can always unfollow them, you know. You don't have to unfriend them, but you can unfollow them. You don't have to actually listen or read what it is they're going on about. You don't have to take all of that on board, because you have the right to take on board what you want to believe, and you have the right to take on board what you see the world to be. And if you don't want to be putting your energy into this stuff, don't. Just don't. Don't worry about what other people are going to say about it. Just don't do it. Don't worry that someone's going to start judging you because you're not being vocal, because it's getting a bit out of hand. It's all getting out of hand. And I read a fantastic post yesterday, and this guy he's very connected politically. And he was saying, you know, basically what I've just said is that this is not the way. This is not the way to get change. It's not the way to get change. So back to self-care. You need to take some time out just from your day generally. Take some time out. Yesterday I went to the beach. You can probably tell I've got a bit of a burnt nose. But take yourself out of your normal routine. Do something for you daily. I'm talking about now. Now that could be a quick meditation for intention setting in the morning. It could be go for a walk with your dogs. It could be a nice bath in the evening with some candles and some essential oils. It could just be working with some essential oils, just a little quick boost every now and again throughout the day. But find something that will keep your energy lifted. We need to start keeping our spirits and our energy lifted so that we can live our lives from a place of logic, from a place of joy. Because what's going on around the world right now is sucking the joy right out of anything, you know. And as an energy healer, I feel it. I feel it. And people that are empaths will feel it even more because they're sensitive to it. So it's really important. It's really important that you keep focus on keeping yourself well and keeping yourself in high spirits, whatever that may mean. Whatever that may mean. So I'm going to do a couple of cards, and a few cards came out actually while I was shuffling, so, and I'm going to read them first. So the first one that came out was Milky Way, and it says perspective. And for me, there's a bigger thing going on here. There's a bigger picture than what we are seeing. There's a bigger picture than what the media tells you. There's a bigger picture than what Facebook tells you, what your friend tells you, what the newspapers are reporting. There's a bigger picture. And this bigger picture is what we need to be connecting in with. Because the more we connect in with our immediate periphery, the more likely we're going to get dragged into the energy of the hatred and the anger and all the rest that comes with that. There's a bigger picture here, and once you can tap into that bigger picture, you will get perspective. You will start to get a perspective of where you can align so that you can stay mentally and physically well. And it is so important. Self-care is part of this bigger picture. Looking out for you is part of this bigger picture. It's part of this bigger picture. And you need to start looking for that. Find something you can connect with. Find something that you can connect with so that you can have a bigger picture, so that you can focus outside of your periphery vision. It is so important because it gives you a different type of, I've said perspective, but it also gives you a different type of awareness. It gives you an awareness that you wouldn't see otherwise because you step back out of the energy that's in the peripheral. So, so, so important. And this one came out while I was shuffling, which is quite interesting to me, dance, because dance to me is about movement. It's about movement. And when you move, it changes a lot of things within you. It changes the way your body works. It changes mentally. It will change you because it ignites your your glands and all of that within inside of you. It gets the old chemicals going, the feel-good factors going within inside of you. And life should be a celebration. We should be celebrating more than what we do. At the moment, the focal is all on, this periphery vision that we are involved with, what's going on in the world. But once we can start to find some more celebrations, it will help to lift the spirits. It will help to lift the mind, and it will help to give you some perspective, because you'll shake off some of that heavy energy. And what's gone on for the past, what are we in, 4 months of this from the start now? Is it 4 months? A lot of people have just sat around being stagnant. Their muscles would have depleted. The energy, within the muscles would have depleted. And if we keep in the current realm of this heavy energy, what we're going to do is we're going to end up taking on all this kind of toxic energy. So if we use the dance metaphor, and start to celebrate, start to think about, focus on your life. Where are you going? Where are you going? We know what's going on around us, and where we can get involved, where it will make a change, because you have to use the system against the system. You have to use the system against the system, right? But if you start shaking off that energy in the metaphor of dance and celebration, you will free yourself from some of this heaviness, and you will start to see things differently. So, and it's a really interesting, it's very interesting this time. And I tell you what, I just hope to God someone is documenting the realness of all of this. Not what the media says, not what the papers are telling you, not what social media is telling you, because half of that is doctored, because they've got the whole fact checker thing going on, haven't they? Pulling posts down even if it's got nothing related. But in the true sense, and we as individuals, if you're into your intuition, if you are connected to yourself, right, and you're into that intuition, you know when something ain't right. You know when it's not right. You don't need social media or something else to tell you when it's wrong or right. You know. And then you have a duty to act in accordance to you, in accordance to yourself. And that's another thing about self-care, because it's quite easy to get wrapped up in the energy of somebody else and then start acting as if you are that somebody else and start acting out their agenda instead of staying true to yourself. And it's boundaries. You have to have boundaries. Is another thing about self-care. Boundaries. Maintaining boundaries. You know, implementing boundaries to start with, because if you don't want to get involved in something, you don't have to. You don't have to. You know? But then if you want to, then by all means do it. But don't be told by somebody else what you should do, what you shouldn't do, how you should act, how you should think, because it's all part and parcel of the bigger picture. Yeah? Do what's right for you. Music harmony. So music harmony. So what are you aligning to? Music is fantastic for creativity, isn't it? And being creative always brings up the it always brings up your energetic vibration. Just listening to music sometimes does that. There's a couple of tunes that I just love if they come on, especially if I've done a TikTok dance to them. It will come on and I want to do the dance, and it just instantly lifts me. And music is the same, you know. Music is like that. And harmony for this one, it's about, you know, get in tune. It's about getting in tune to who you are and what you need. That's where you get your harmony, when you get in tune to who you are and what you need. As I was saying, it's not about other people's energy. It's not about following. Unless you really feel that's what you need to do, then by all means do that, as long as it brings harmony to you. To you as an individual. It has to bring harmony to you. And I cannot see, and it is my personal opinion, but I cannot see, and in fact epigenetics will tell you this anyway if you look into epigenetics, because you know I work with the principles of epigenetics, that getting involved in the energy of hatred, confusion, anger and sadness, all it's going to do is bring you down and oppress you and suppress you, because that energy will be connecting to all of your body and all of the cells within your body, and before long you're going to program it with that toxic energy, and that will become how you live your life. Hence why I think that dance came out, because we do need to just shake it off so that you can use the energy effectively. That's the key here. Take that step back so that you can see the bigger picture, and then take inspired action so that you do it in harmony with you, so you can stay true to who you are. Put the boundaries in place so that you can protect your energy, and put the self-care tips in place so that you can also protect your energy, but so you can re-energize yourself. Because what's going on, if you get too into it, it is draining the life out of people. And I'm going to do one more card. It's just so important. Self-care is the biggest thing that we can do for ourselves right now. It's the biggest thing that we can do. And two cards have fallen out. There we go. Lake fell out. Lake, stillness. And this is all related. Take some time, guys. Take your foot off the pedal. Take your foot off the pedal. Yeah? Whatever energy you've jumped into right now, each and every one of you, Yeah, just take your foot off the pedal and just sit in stillness. Sit in stillness and just observe. Observe what is going on around you. And if you can take that step back and sit in stillness, you will truly see what's being played out, but it will also help you to find that bigger piece, that bigger picture. It will help you to find that bigger picture. Now, what do I mean by bigger picture, just quickly, right? Because for me, I've got two that I'll share with you today. My first one is I am committed to always being true to myself. I will always speak my truth. That's my first one. And my second one is that I commit to living my life by the highest spiritual truths that I can. Bearing in mind, we're all on a different level in our path, okay? We'll all be at a different aspect in our spiritual path. And I do that because when I am wobbled by anything that's going on around me, because it still happens sometimes, it enables me to click back into the highest you know, the thing that's outside of me. And that's that connecting of thing that's outside of my human experience, if you like, and that is you know, the spiritual truths. So it helps me to connect back in with something that's bigger than what's going on around me, so I can get perspective and I can come at it from a logical place, as opposed to a place of this energy that everyone, well, not everybody, but a lot of people are getting involved in. And if you sit still, you still take the stillness, take the time. You know, go to that lake. That's a beautiful lake, that is. I mean, go there if that's what you need to do. Go and find yourself somewhere where it is quite, you know, it's got serenity about it. And there's a peacefulness about it. And take yourself out of the noise. And just sit there and take that time. Take that time to observe what's going on around you. Connect back in with that nature. Connect in with it, and it will help you connect in with you so that you can connect to your bigger picture, because it's about the bigger picture. Otherwise we're going to end up in some kind of war or some kind of, well, nonsense. And then the last one that came out was ceremony. And for me, this is about, once you've done that stillness, this is about kind of creating that space and that time, and getting together the structures that are right for you, that give you that connection. That give you that connection, so that you can always have that path to that bigger picture. Because we do lose connection, don't we? We do lose connection. And sometimes it's difficult to get back, because the dark energy is so heavy and so suppressing that it really pulls you down. So have some kind of, it's this ceremony, but have some kind of, like I have an altar for instance, you know, have something there that you can really help you to put together, you know, call it a daily ceremony if you like, where you think to yourself, right, okay, my Facebook time is going to be between these times. You know, I'm not going to watch the TV between these times, or I'm only going to catch a particular programme because I like that, it's educational, or you know, I'm going to go to the lake today and practice stillness, or I'm going to spend 10 minutes with my essential oils and choose some that are going to help me to lift my mood, or I'm going to call a friend today who doesn't talk about what's going on in the media, and we can have a real kind of creative session. You know, whatever it is, do that, because this was all about self-care and what's going on around us right now, you know. And it's really important that we put those things in place. So I'm going to leave it there, because I think that that kind of like came back in a nice circle of the readings from the cards, and I hope you enjoyed that. And please just look, guys, sit with yourself on this one and just think about where you're directing your energy and redirect it. Redirect it. Yeah, it's so important. Redirect it to something that's going to benefit you, because the energy of anger, hatred and all of those things is not going to benefit you, because it's not good for the body. It's good to know that you have these emotions, and it's good to use them, use the emotions, but it's not good to sit in it. It's not good to sit in the energy of it, especially for prolonged periods of time. So on that note, I'm going to go off and practice what I preach, and I'm going to go and do some stillness in my garden by the shrubs, and it's nice and quiet there, and the birds are singing out there, and it's a beautiful place to just sit and be quiet. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, guys, I'll see you soon. Take care now. Bye bye.